And we're live. So tell us who you are and what you're doing here.
Okay, my name is Kyi Sin Lynn, but like a lot of people know me as Glad. It's not just my English name. In my home country, people just call me Glad, so it's like a nickname. And I am, I graduated from DVC as a business administration student last semester in, spring 2024, and I am currently working in as an office assistant in DVC International Students Office. I came from Myanmar and I am 22 years old.
All right. So talk a little bit about your journey to get here to DVC, and not we'll get to the international office, but kind of how you got here, because Myanmar is not really close. It's not like my kids where we lived around the corner. It's more than a little distance.
Okay, sure. So it's like kind of a very long story because like I used to be a medical student. Like I was in medical college in Burma. When I finished my high school, there's like a matriculation exam system in my country where we finish our high school at 16 years old. So I did pretty well, I would say, at the exam, and like I got into the medical university, and I spent like 2 years in that school. Actually, I never wanted to be a doctor. It's just but I don't know what else to do, and like a doctor is like a very prestigious job, and like my parents really wants me to go to the school, so I ended up going to the medical college for 2 years. But to be honest, I didn't enjoy any kind of like. So but however, like in my second years of my medical school, there was like COVID happened, and also one tragic thing is like the military coup happened in my country. It was like very sudden, so sudden. Like I wasn't that interested in politics a lot that time. Like when I was like probably like 18, 19 years old, like 19, 20 years old. So like, but however, like there is a very big impact on my life and also the whole country and a lot of people's life in my country. So the country's situation becomes like a mess, like a very big mess. And so a lot of political issue and like a lot of people interested in the political things, and like a lot of young people especially, we kind of got to feel what is like a democracy and freedom like for a few years. So like it's more sensitive to us, like that thing happens. So a lot of people, they do like do the protests and it leads to a civil war right now, but like it's not civil war, that's military coup. So I would say like I live in like the capital city that is like a center of the like administration thing. So like it was like very kind of dangerous, people would say. So, but however, like I would like to participate in those like against the military campaigns and things. That is not a very good thing to do in that capital city, like where the military is existing. So yeah, but however, a lot of things complicated, long story short, and like the school closed. The citizen, they do like a lot of boycotting jobs to the military government. So like we can go back to the school, and like for me personally, I don't want to go back to school. Like I don't like that school in the first place, and also I don't support the military coup thing. So I was kind of lost. And also, it was always my dream to go abroad and study. It was like since I was like very young, I was like, I really want to do like, there is like things in Asian, I would say it's not like a stereotype, but like in Asian like television dramas and everything, there is like something kind of called plot twist. Like when people want to abroad and like 2, 3 year, 5 year later, they come back rich. something like that. So I was like, I really want to go to abroad, but like my parents, they are not that rich. We're kind of comfortable, but so I was like, if I want to go to abroad, I need to go get a scholarship. I have to be on myself. But however, this thing happened. So I got my luck because like my father has his like old best friend. He live in California. So they've been friends like for so long. So like he did an invitation to my father. It's like, so things are complicated and you're having difficult times. And like, so he has his house like kind of big, like, it's not like big, but however, he could invite like my father's daughter, who is me and my sister. But my sister, she was like kind of young. So like he can come like, so I was like, oh, this is my chance. So I prepared everything by myself. So it was kind of difficult for me too, because like, applying to an American college is like a very new thing to me. Nobody around me ever tried this. So like I have to do all the research by myself. So, and I applied it and it seems like it's not that hard.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I got it. And then I got admission. And because like DVC, and also how I got into DVC is like is my only choice, because like my only reason to come to study in US is because to live in my father's friend's house, who will give us rent free, and like he can take care of us. So the only college university near to his house is DVC. So I applied to DVC, I got it, and I got my visa luckily. And then I came here in 2022 January. It's like very funny because like, the semester started in like late January. I got my visa in like second week of January.
Oh, geez.
So I was like, I almost already give up. So yeah, but however, I luckily got into like USA on my first try. And also a lot of people being coming to US and all other abroad country, like, because like studying in Burma is not the best choice right now. But however, when I came here, I was kind of early, because I was kind of lucky enough to come here early, and it wasn't that difficult, I would say, compared to those people who were trying to escape the country.
So talk a little bit about the process of applying, because I mean, it's like you didn't have anybody you didn't like have a buddy here. It's like, hey, tell me how you did it. Walk us through that a little bit, because I think that's amazingly resourceful that you figured it out. I mean, granted, there's the internet, but please talk us through that.
Yeah, because like, okay, I have to say sorry, because like I have a habit of like I'm kind of talkative and making short story long. So
no, that's what this format is for.
Yeah,
is just tell us the story. I want to hear the whole thing.
Yeah. So like my mom, she is a university professor, but however, she's kind of like a Asian. Old lady. So she just like very traditional professor in Asia. But however, like she has a friend. She is like kind of, I would say like more comfortable and rich. Like my mom has a friend and she has a daughter. So we are the same age. When we finished the high school, her daughter went to US to go to college. So, but their preparation step, like my mom kind of know. But however, that is very difficult and like very complicated as far as I know, because like they do like a lot of preparation thing, and they spend a lot of money. So they took like, I'm not sure, but like when I first told my mom and dad about I want to go to abroad, and especially US if your friend is there. But my mom said like, that is kind of impossible, because we are not that rich. We cannot support you that much money just for the preparation, because like as far as I saw from my friend's daughter's story, that is kind of difficult and you have to prepare a lot of things. So I was like, really? So it really made me like not really motivated. So I was like, but however, let's try, because like at the first place I really want to go to abroad. So I I do my research myself. Yeah, I have the internet, so like I do the research. Like I spend like a lot of hours going on DVC website, like by myself, like hours and hours. That is the true story. So like sometimes like people are asking, like it's kind of related to my job right now. My job in DVC right now is like answering people's question and inquiry. So I was like, okay. So it's kind of always remind me how I know this and how I found out about this answer is like, it's myself. I did research, a lot of research on that website. I don't really like reading, but however, it's just me for me, and I don't know who to ask for that time. So like I do the reading a lot to understand the application process and everything. It wasn't really easy. It was very stressful for me because it's the first time I cannot ask my mom's daughter too. Like she is doing another whole process. So like, but however long I did it because like it's not that difficult. At the end when I finally done it, so like we just need like I already finished high school. I'm already older than 18 years old. So like American community college are for those people to give them the opportunity to join to a better higher education and university. So it's kind of, I feel like American college education is like kind of open to everybody. So that is not supposed to be difficult. And like that's how I found out is like, okay, this is not that difficult, but I have things to do. So, but what I really feel thankful is my father. He is like always supported to me. So like he was like, just tell me what you need to do. So like there's a like no trier things and everything. Those are kind of expensive in there. So like my father is like, he did like he has some connection. Like my friend is doing the notary service, so I got a lot of things free. Like I don't really need to spend a lot of money because I got the lack. So yeah, so I would say I do read and do research a lot by myself. It's kind of boring, but I did it because it's for me and I really want to come here.
So it was a lot of persistence on your part, and a little bit of help from your dad because he was. I mean, I'm a dad, so I know how this is. It's like whatever I can do to help my princess out, it's like I'm there, you know. So it's just it's and so I'm sure they're very proud of you at this point. You know, it's like I mean, and again, so you made that decision, and then tell us about like when you actually came over and showed up. What was that like?
Yeah. So like, I came here like as I said earlier, I came here like 2 days before the semester, my flight. So yeah, I didn't attend the orientation because like I only attended Zoom orientation. But however, that was the time I have to like I was boating, so I have to like I have to 1 hour. I didn't even get to listen to the orientation as a whole. So because I have to go boating, and then
go voting,
boating on the flight.
Oh,
like because the orientation time was the time I have to go into the airplane.
You had to fly. Okay,
yeah.
okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so you were flying.
Sorry,
no, that's okay.
English.
That's okay. That's why, if you don't mind, I'll stop and just ask you to clarify because I was just like, so you were actually on the jet.
That's true.
When you were supposed to be in orientation.
Zoom orientation.
Okay.
And the actual orientation, the check-in day, what is very essential and mandatory right now, I didn't even get a chance because like my flight, as you know, like I got the visa like only 2 weeks before the semester began, and then I have to buy my flight ticket by that time, like within 2 weeks, you know, like to fly across the world. But like you buy the tickets like 2 weeks before. That took us a lot of work.
Yeah.
So.
And it wasn't like you just jumped on a plane in Myanmar and then showed up in San Francisco. There was,
No, yeah, there's a lot of paperwork I have to do that time, like, you know, the vaccination and like there's a lot of like attestation form I have to do within those 2 weeks. So yeah, but however, I did it. So it was okay. So it was my first time flying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I
Okay.
fly to US, it was my first ever time flying. It was my first time stepping into an airport actually.
Okay.
So, like I never do like abroad like visit and trip before. So this is my first ever adventure. It was my first time traveling alone, like, like abroad too. So it was a lot of adventures.
So it's the first time you're traveling alone. You're getting on a plane for the first time. You're
That's
walking into an airport alone for the first time.
Sure.
So it's like, so you jump in, you go through, you get there, you get into San Francisco, you go through customs, which that must have been daunting because I know even having been through customs several times, I get confused. But
Yeah.
that must have been something.
But I was like, I don't really feel like any like fear, scare. I don't really feel at all because like I was like kind of like happy about like all the new experience I've been waiting for my whole life. This is like a dream for me. Like my dream finally came true, and like I didn't feel like it hits me reality when I'm on the plane, like because like I do a transit in Singapore. So like on my plane, I don't really feel that is like sad or like anything. I don't like okay, this is not a good thing to say, but however, I don't really feel sad to leave that country because, like, yeah, those this is kind of selfish, very selfish, I would say. But however, for me personally and like my own life, like everything's like I have in my I wants to do is like I feel like my life will begin better. I know I have a lot of feelings to usually, but however, at that time, those sad feeling like I maybe I can see my parents in a few year or many year. I know, but however, the happiness and like my I don't know how to say in English, like the adventurous.
Yes. Well, no,
Yeah.
it's you're realizing a dream that you've had since a kid.
Yeah.
Is because and I get that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like for me, flying is
Yeah.
annoying because the thing is I've done it so much. But
That's true.
but first time, not only that, you're going international. You're going to
Yeah.
realize a dream to go to the United
That's
States and go to
true.
a school, and so you touch down in San Francisco. You get through customs.
Yeah.
It's 2 days before classes start.
That's true. So and also like I don't know about the internet and phone line everything. So like when I step into SFO, San Francisco International Airport, I'm not sure how can I contact to my father's friend. So you know what? I didn't know San Francisco Airport has the free Wi-Fi too because I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. So what I did is like I used the like public phone, like payphone in the San Francisco airport to call my father's friend number, and they were like, they are going to pick me up, but like they are kind of late, so I have to wait for them like 30 to 40 minutes in the airport alone. But however, like, but I don't say I was feeling absolutely happy. I was kind of numb because this is too big for me.
Yes.
Too big for me. So I was like, and that is one of my habits that like I don't really feel super excited or super, like happiness or anything. I sometimes when I have something big to like concentrate, I begin kind of, calm. I'm usually like a not calm person. I'm like very like super active person. But however, at that time, the emotion was, I guess, so big. So it just made me calm.
Yeah, it probably was a little overwhelming. So it just kind of you plow through it. But I mean, again, so you get picked up. You got 2 days to get to class,
Yeah.
and you walk into your first day of class.
That's
so
true.
Tell us about that.
Okay, so that time was stay in COVID, so I can took a lot of classes online. So I only took like only one class, like 5-unit class as in person. That is a calculus class.
Oh,
So
jeez.
okay, so one of the reason I went into medical school is because I don't want to do math anymore.
And what's the first class you got?
And then I was like, like in the medical school, we need to study, we need to learn math only in the first year. And like when I was doing the final exam of the first MB, they call this MB for first year of medical school. I was like, okay, after this day, I am done with math. I don't need to do this annoying math anymore. But however, here I am here I'm back with math. So like, and it's calculus. I hate it. So I was like, I went to the class, but however, luckily, the class is not that difficult. Like I took calculus 1, but like I feel like I already know. Like even though I wasn't very good in when I was doing this in my home country, this is my second time learning this some of those calculus 1. So I was like, I feel not difficult at all. Like but I was feeling intimidated first because like this is my first time learning in a classroom absolutely English because I didn't go to any international school in my country too. So like everybody around me is like everybody speaking English and I'm learning English and this is math. But however, I don't really feel a big deal of it, and that was very surprising to me. I was like, oh, I thought it would be okay. So I was kind of a nerd that time because I don't have the work permit too. So like I everything I need to do is study and study and study. So in my first semester, I did really well in my classes. Like, you know, my grades are like I got a lot of extra credit plus, and I was like, oh, I'm doing great. But I didn't know my future at that time, you know, like when I'm start working and like taking classes and I go crazy. I went crazy. But however, in my first semester wasn't that bad. And and also about the English language barrier, that was difficult, I would say, because I never speak in English in my whole life as like a in usual daily life. So I feel very difficult to speak English. I mean, I feel very comfortable right now. So like I feel like I would say like it took me like around 6 months to feel comfortable with English, like speaking in daily life. So like in my first semester, my biggest problem I would say was the English barrier. In the morning I woke up and I was like, oh my god, I have to get up and talk in English again today. I think about that, like I thought it like that every morning. So I feel really uncomfortable to speak and think, and because it took me a process. Like right now I can talk whatever I want, like compared to that time. But however, at that time I was like, when I have to talk to you something, I have to think and translate and think. So like it took me like very long process. So it was kind of difficult for me.
Yeah, when I was much younger, I have a friend of mine who he was originally from Belgium, and then he moved here when he was 10. So his native language is French, but he speaks English without an accent. But when you get into complicated things, you could see him in his head translate it to French, because he'd pause and he would kind of translate into French, and then he would sometimes articulate something and it didn't quite make sense. But then when you kind of sorted it out, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that was just with him, and because he was, you know, but if you just spoke to him, he sounded like a native speaker for English. So
yeah. So, you know, like you can see me, I'm kind of struggling today too, because like right now I don't really feel uncomfortable to use English, but however, like it depends on my mood too, because like today, last night I didn't get a good sleep. That's why my brain is not brainy. I would say that's why like I'm kind of struggling today. So my English levels these days are like kind of depends on my brain.
Well,
capacity. Yeah.
I speak English as a native, and I still have that problem too. It doesn't have anything to do with whether it's the native language or not. Just some days the brain isn't engaged. There's just not enough coffee. So so you get in, you're plugging along. You got through your first 6 months, you're starting to get more comfortable with English. You survived calculus again.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No worries.
So so then take us through the rest of it. How did you end up in the international office?
Oh yeah. So like the first thing was not an international event. It was the club, International Student Club. Oh. So I was like, it's just like me and my classroom. I was like home. I went back to home after the class, and the only way I know is like the bus route 28 from my home to class to DVC. So I was like, I'm not that type of person, you know, because like I'm that type of person who like to be outside and talk to a lot of people, meet new people, and that's how I feel alive. So like I feel I feel like I was struggling and adapting and adjusting my new life. At the same time, I still want to meet more people, and like I feel I want to be more alive, although it will be challenging, I know. So I need more friends, the main thing. So and in my second semester, I guess I followed a lot of DVC student club on Instagram. I searched them. So like I found international student club that is like the most interesting class I found. So like I follow them and they are like recruiting officers. So like I won there. I don't remember what it was, my first or second semester. I went to their general meeting once. It was like their final general meeting of that semester. So it was really fun. Like there's a lot of people, and like I saw like those officers working, and like I like to do those organizing things. So like I was like, this is very interesting and I love it. So I meet people finally. So I was interested. So like that next semester, they were recruiting at the start of the semester. I was like, I went to there. But however, I saw like only few people there. And like, I remember like the president was also new. They started a new term. So like they need just like 1 or 2, 3 new officer. So I applied for the vice president because like that is one of the vacant position. But however, obviously I didn't get the position as a very newcomer, but I got a position like called activity coordinator. So I got into the club. So, but however, I feel like activity coordinator, that sounds very me. So like I really work for that job. So like, I mean like a lot of club thing is like, so this is like a kind of bitter truth about that. So a lot of DVC student, we did it for the resume. Yeah. But however, for me, I was like, I know that I feel like I cannot afford to UC that time. I feel like that. I was lost actually. I just want to focus on what I'm doing right now. So like I'm doing these club jobs and I'm enjoying this. So I really work hard and I really pay attention to that. So that's how I became very close and best friend with some of the officers, like the president. He became my best friend and also other officers. So like I got my friendship, and I feel alive again. Like I can go to eat something with my friends again. Like I have friends to go eat and go out, and I have something to do, something to work on. That is really fun part. Like that remind me like I'm enjoying this life. I'm alive. So yeah, that is how I got into the International Student Club, and I worked there for like 1 year as an activity coordinator. And like in my second year, like there is like something called like the clubs has a term, like if you have a position you will expire in 1 year. So like my friend who is the president like told me like you should apply for the president position next time. So I was like, oh really? Because like that time I was like started to looking for jobs, like part-time jobs. So I was like, I'm not sure. I have a lot of class too. So, but however, I give it a try, and I actually got that. So I was like, I didn't really expect that, but I became the president of the International Student Club in my second year of college. So that's how and then you became the leader. That is a very different story right now. Yeah. You work as in the club. You are like, I feel very used to, and like, I feel very familiar with the campus and everything in DVC. But however, the change come. You have to work as a leader and you have to lead the people. I never done that before.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so that would be not easy. So I prepare myself, like my mind and my body. I prepare, but however, it didn't went well, I would say. So
It did not, or did?
It did not.
Oh.
Because there's a lot of challenging thing, because this is my first time living and first time doing this thing. So I have other things like going on in my life. And also like this, I'm just talking about my campus life at this point. So like, but however, I became the DVC president, But I missed that point. But that at the same time, like around the same time when I was thinking about applying to the president, DVC International Students Office was also hiring a student worker for the first time. So I was like, I give it a try. Why don't I give it a try? And then like when they do the interview, I was like, I talk a lot about that. This is kind of secret, but I talk a lot about like how I am involved in the international student club. And like, I think they are very interested that time. They were very interested with how to communicate more with the international students more and like how to help them more. So I put a lot of things on that. Like I can help people connect with the office and the club and like actual students. So like, I think that was my cheat code to get into that job. So I got into the office, and around that time, I got the president. So I got those two things almost around the same time. So that is how my life turns into a new point. So
So you really got involved with the club in order to figure out a way to connect with being here.
Sure.
You know, because I mean, you showed up and you had basically, you know, your dad's friend.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like your new family. And then you had school, which was, you know, you didn't have a bunch of people, but you used the club really to create that connection.
That's true.
And then you know, hey, you should, and then you started raising your hand and going, yes.
Yes.
And it sounds like in some way, and because they were first times, you know, they either went well or they didn't. But, you know, I'm old enough to know that I've not been successful at everything. So, but you're still here. So obviously you did well at it. So.
Yeah. So there was like, actually, I'm just saying like it easily, but those times were like the hardest times of my life, I would say, like emotionally, especially the time I was doing a lot of decision, like applying to the president things, and like I got part-time jobs, and those time I have my classes where like at the point where they are not easy. So like I would say like calculus 2, I'm not good at math. So like calculus 2 is where I got messed up. So like I don't have time to study a lot, because like I have other jobs and things, and like a lot of things like that disturb me. So, and at the same time where the family and kind of private things, I would say, came in, like, because like the political situation in my country became like worse. And then like my sister is also planning to come here. So my parents are supporting 2 people as an international student. That is very high tuition fee. And also I want to move out from my friend, from my father's friend house, because like they were very good people, but however, like I mean, I don't want to like go detail, but yeah.
Well, I know there's a point where you want to grow up and go out on your own and launch on your own, and I get that.
Yeah, those are like you deal people like who are not your own family. Can be problem that is very natural. So I have a lot of things going on in my life that time, and like especially like my classes, I was like very hardworking, I would say, in my classes. My goal was to get A and hundreds in my classes all my life. But however, that time my classes, like I was almost getting a D.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I go that low, because like, so I was like, should I have to drop that class or not, like something like that too. So like, but however, the money is also a problem. I cannot drop a class like easily, because like that is a lot of money, and I cannot waste my father's pressure money like that. And also the situation there is getting worse and worse. Everyone is dangerous. So like that is one time like I went into the counselor's office, and like I end up like crying out loud in front of the counselor, and they sent me to the, wellness office, and they introduced me to a therapist.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they really helped me. DVC really helped me a lot at times when I really needed help. And my mental health was like very turmoil that time, I would say, because I have a lot of things. And the biggest thing is there is like a point like where I cannot go back to my country, because like my father used to be like he worked for the government like in the past, but And I did mention that we were living in the capital city where everything is like in their center. So there were like, I would say, threatened things from the military government that's related to me and my father and my family. So because like I was stay involved in those political campaigns, like online, and like I do some donations, and like they are really, that is against the military government. So like there is a turning point where I got to know that it is really dangerous for me now.
So you get to stay here.
Yeah. So there is like this is the point I was like, should I really say no? So like I was like, should I really, like a lot of people do that, but like it's applying. I was like searching for the opportunity and like choices what I need to do at this point, and like a lot of people suggest me to apply the asylum here. But however, I don't really feel good, and I don't really feel comfortable to do that, to actually decide that, to do that decision, because like I don't feel comfortable, because I feel like this is asking help from another country, and I don't really feel legal for myself. I mean, like, it's not illegal, but however, it took me a lot of mental challenges. So like I don't really want to do that actually, because I at the time I still feel like that is my home country. I feel a lot of guilt, like guilty enough to escape the country when my friends and like other peoples are fighting for democracy against. I was selfish enough to escape, and I am privileged enough to continue my study, and like also I have challenges, but those are for my life. Those are people who can't even prioritize their own life. So I feel very selfish and guilty. And like that decision was kind of maybe the biggest things like going on. I was like, should I really do this? I don't really want to do that actually. This is my very honest reaction, because like if this podcast and like if this thing go to my country, there will be people who will be like, she's just selfish. She just did that. She just did that. So yeah, that is not wrong. But however, it took me a lot of mental challenge too.
You had to do soul searching.
That's true.
Yeah.
I feel guilty. Yeah, this is my very honest words. I feel guilty. I feel very selfish, and I feel I really like I really do have my respect on those people. But however, that was one of the biggest thing I was going through. So like that's what I say. Like that time was the lowest mental points of my life. I was like, I was doing bad in my classes. I have studying to have job, and like I was leading people in a club, like a lot of people for the first time in my life, and I was going through like a lot of decision making process. Those are the turning points of my life. So a lot of things going on in my life, and also I started to realize that I have to figure out the financial things too, because like my parents, they can support me for the tuition fee in the college, but I have to. That was my second year of college, so I have to start to think about where I'm transferring, what am I going to do after college, and I started to understand the process here and the environment here, the college things, everything, the pathway. So like I have to decide a lot of things at the same time, and I became to understand a lot of things. So a lot of things going on my mind. I was like very turmoil, and like I was crying those days. But however, I would say like I really thank DVC for giving me a free therapy session. It's not free. It's like a 2-month session. So like it really helped me a lot. But however, I did a lot of decision making those time, but however, I would say I was proud of me that time, because like everything went out really well. I did all the things, like, my class, I didn't get a D. I passed that class with like a A or B. I got it back.
So you got into therapy, you were able to survive all those things and actually thrive because of it.
Yeah. So I was like, and everything became like, so that's why people say like, time is the answer. You just needed time to process everything. So like you don't need to be like in a hurry. You have to think. I'm that kind of person who did something really fast, like because I am like very active person. But however, that time I realized you need time. You need to think, and it's okay to take time, and it's okay to feel not okay.
You know what? Those are two very, very wise things there. It's time. That's one thing I understand at this end of my life is time is one of the most precious gifts, and it's good to take it.
That's true.
And then and one of the most important things is understanding sometimes you're not okay.
Yeah.
You know, and that's tough.
Yeah. And I would like to say thank you to my therapist because like I learned like those things I never know. Like it's okay not to feel okay, and also my feelings are valid.
Yes.
I never actually, as an Asian, I would say this is kind of stereotypical things, but like as an Asian and like I was growing up like thriving to get like A and to be the top of the class, and like I was like feelings are not that important when I grew up. So I was like, it's okay. I need time. I need to rest. Like, and I'm feeling sad. Like sometimes, like before that, I was like, why I am struggling? Like one of my my mental problem is like, why I am feeling this thing in my mind? When I am the probably one? That was my problem. I was like, I'm probably enough, and like, why I am sad? Am I allowed to this feeling like this? Because people say that like, you know, there's a people who are going through a lot more than me compared to me. So I'm comparing. Like the comparing thing is the problem.
Yes.
But however, I decided this is my life. I have to decide it myself. I am leading my life. I'm on my own. So I started to understand things little by little, and it took time. But however, everything was solved, not easily, but however, everything was done, and it didn't go in a bad way. Nothing go in a bad way. So I was really proud of myself that time for thriving through that and surviving through that, all the thing.
Well, good. So you get into your second year, you finish up, and now you're working in the international office.
Yeah.
This is your job. So what does the future look like for you?
Okay, so I would like to answer your question, but before that, I would just want to like talk a little bit about how I finished school.
Yes,
and like
please.
I would say that
sorry,
future,
I didn't mean to rush you ahead. So
no, sorry. Yeah. So the thing is like my second year it was also like there's something I also talked to you last time when we talked about it. Like whenever I saw new students, like I told them like I sought out like your days in USA like 6 months period. I always do that. In your first 6 months, you are lost. You don't know anything, and like you don't understand what are you feeling sometimes. Like you are feeling homesick, or you are actually feeling heavy. Are you feeling freedom, or are you feeling homesick? Like you don't understand in the first 6 months. But however, in your second 6 months, that's where the story begins. Like you started to understand the struggle and the readapting and adjusting things, and like you started to understand what you need to do. That's where your minds began a little bit complicated. Like, oh, damn, you have like the reality hit. Like I have to do it. And in your third 6 months, that is like where your second year, where all of my everything happened. It's like in that second 6 months is the time where you do everything. Like in your second 6 months is you just doing the thinking process. In your third 6 months is you do everything. You do everything. That is the hardest part. So like you will feel like very mentally challenging and like emotionally challenging. But however, after that 6 months, I would say like fourth 6 months is where you feel numb. You feel like you have challenges every day. So you feel like you don't feel that is like in a special way anymore, because you feel like okay, yeah, I have to solve this anyway. Like that's when my father, when he do a video call to me, like, your face look like you don't care anything at all. Like your face say that. So I was like, that's kind of true. I am not afraid of anything anymore. But that doesn't mean like I don't have any difficulty. I have difficulty and I'm just getting used to it. And I just understand that I have to solve it anyway. There is no point of me being sad and like being, like lost in this. Like everything, and I kind of understand everything will be solved. So like that is the time. And like and then after that, I am going to an end. Like I finished my school. I was like near to the graduation, and that time I applied to the university. So I applied to a lot of CSU, and like I found my dream school that time. Like, it's not dream school, but like where I should go. It's like I was thinking about CSU, Long Beach, and San Diego State University.
Oh, okay.
So I applied those, and I got admission actually to. I applied like 5 schools, and I got admission to all of that. But however, I decided to withdraw everything because of the reality check I didn't do the reality check with my parents that they won't be able to support me through the university life. So I was like, okay, I could give it a try like next time, and I could just work because like at this time I got my work permits and like work authorization and everything, and like I can live here in the United States. So I was like, okay, I would just wait for my time, like next time. And also my dream school is UCLA actually.
Oh, UCLA.
Or probably UC Berkeley. As a business student, I want to get into the high school, but however, I want to go to SoCal more.
Oh, so, well, yeah. My daughter,
Yeah.
my youngest one, grew up here, and then she ended up attending a small college down in Chapman University down in
really?
Orange, which
yeah.
it's about 8 miles from Disneyland. So
Oh
yes,
yeah, that's a very like a famous one because I also do some research about it.
Yeah,
So I was like, San Diego and CSU Long Beach are my favorite school, but however, not my like first choice one. I want to go to UC, of course. So I was like, I didn't get a chance to apply to UC that time because I was like, I know I can't afford it, so like I just didn't give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
So I just go do the CSU. But however, when I do the check with my parents, like it turns out like that, okay, I could just took gap year and I could just work and I can give it a try later. So that later stage didn't come yet. So like I would try this like soon, but right now I am like here. I am after graduation. DVC International Students Office is very kind enough to offer me the job or like a job position in the office, and I can continue to work with my work authorization even though I'm not a student worker anymore and not a student anymore. So I'm working right now at the office, and also I'm doing some other part-time jobs, my side hustle to cover my own experience. And like the main thing is like I just want to stop asking for money from my parents who are struggling in a Civil War country, I would say. And also I still have my sister who is still going to the college here, so they still have to.
So is your sister coming here now, or?
No, she is already here.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she came here after 1 year I came here.
Okay.
So right now she is staying in DVC. So she still has to go a long way. So the thing is like the country situation right now, my country situation right now is really bad, I would say, because like the dollar exchange rate are like, thrice fold of when I first came here. So like $1 is like around 2000 Myanmar jet when I first came here, but right now it's like around 7,000.
Oh, geez.
So it's like very different right now. So I want to support my sister to finish her school. The only thing is that I just don't want to ask for more money and make my parents feel difficult about the financial anymore, because like their main priority, I think right now, is for their safety. A lot of people been leaving their home because like the war is right now really intense between the military coup and the people. So
you got stress going on at home. You're taking a gap year.
that's true.
So I had a question in there. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're having the opportunity. So one of the things is I see is you have the opportunity to help people that are coming in from Myanmar,
True.
and also serve as kind of a beacon of light, because I think you were the first one, at least as far as we know, that.
That's true.
And so, how is that working? I mean, do people call you up, or they just kind of happen to wander into you, or talk a bit about that? What does that look like?
Yeah. So like, I used to. There is like a education, like not an agency. It's like it's founded by a Burmese. One of my friend who is going to USC. So he do like an education. How should I say? It's like a organization, like
Okay.
where a lot of where Burmese students studying abroad, like all over the world, they do like free consultation to those new people who are thinking about leaving the country and like studying abroad. So like I do a lot of consultation session with students. Like they just wonder how is the college life and like transfer things and everything. So like I do a lot of consultation session through that education organization for a few years.
Right. So imagine now you're going to go back, right?
Yeah.
Back to when you were thinking about this, right?
Yeah.
Imagine how useful that would have been when you were doing this. It probably would have been a lot different. Do you use a lot of your experience on, basically the grunt work and the hard work that you did to find these things out on your own? Do you use that, and all the struggles that you've had, do you use that as an opportunity to talk to these people about what they can look at, or?
But like usually I just go on the FUD. Just
Okay.
the FUD, like what you do, how do you apply, and like how is the pathway here, and like the system, mainly the system, because we are not familiar with the system here. So that is my main approach. And yeah, I kind of put in my own, my own experience too. And let me just expose myself. Like that is like my dark side, because like sometimes, very like rarely, sometimes I think of like, sometimes people are asking me some weird questions. Like sometimes I think like, you know what, this is, I just think it's to myself. For my time, I know I have to find this answer by myself. But you guys, you have me and like other people answering you questions. Sometimes I just feel like this is kind of unfair. Those were days I feel like that. But however, I understand like we have to help people, and like it's not like me like pioneering or something. But however, I am also a human being and like a lot of emotions. So I have those dark side emotions like. This is so unfair. At my time, I have to do it myself, but you guys are like so lucky, something like that. So that is not good, but like, yeah.
Well, and really that you have the opportunity to help them so that because they're going to have their own challenges.
That's true.
And it's like, why not help remove some of the early ones? I know that some of the things I've heard over time has been, one of the greatest things you can ever do is take advantage of like, office hours with the professors.
That's true.
Take advantage of the other services like you did with health and wellness, or
That's true.
The wellness center.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, when they get to college, they're used to high school, which here in the United States doesn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So they get here and it's just all of a mystery. So
yeah. So like that is why I'm enjoying my jobs right now at the International Students Office, because what I just said is like it's just one of my very small little dark side. But however, most of the time what I think of it is like I am just taking the chance to share people what like to make their story, like to make their like wanderings to like long to short. Like because like at my time it took me a lot of times and strength to find out something about that. I mean, but however, I really want to help people out. Like they found something valuable and they do know the resources like more easily, not like me. So that's why that's what I said, that's what I told to the international students office people. Like, I'm very glad because like I can help people. I can answer their question because I was once the student with the question, with a lot of question marks, and I know nothing and I'm familiar. But right now I'm familiar to everything, almost everything. So this is my chance to help people out. So like, actually people say like, so this is kind of like, I'm not bragging, but like people saying like, I really like to help a lot. Like, I just do like, just taken for granted for them. Like, because I feel like it's my responsibility and it's my joy to help people out like for free. Yeah, of course. Like, and also I feel the joy. Like there's been a lot of students from Myanmar and from other countries. Like I help them like connect with more people and like sometimes like, you know, find the housing and I give them a lot of information. Like my casual and like formal, my formal job is at the office answering those questions. But however, also outside of my office hour, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
So, so if what would be like two pieces of advice that you would give somebody? We've had a lot of great nuggets in here. I mean, I like the one with, you know, your first 6 months, you're just kind of here plugging away.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your story begins at the second 6 months. And I think that's brilliant because I think that probably applies to a million things, jobs, just life in general. Time is one of the greatest assets you can have.
That's true.
But let's imagine for a moment you had to give, like, we'll just go with one nugget that you're going to give to somebody. You know, it's like they're coming in, they're brand new, they just showed up today, right? What would you tell them? What would be like the one thing that you would say that you know, if nothing else, walk away with this?
That is kind of difficult, but yeah. So yeah, as we know, everything is difficult. But however, like I would say, like just get up and do it. So like, I mean, what I mean.
I get it. It's like, first of all, I have a thing on my bicycle for when I'm climbing the hill because I'm kind of an old fat guy. So it's like, it just says harden the up. You know, because it's just gut up, go do it. You know,
I mean, I use the verb like do. It's mean like you have like search for it, ask for it, go for it. You know, like But like there are a lot of resources. There will be some people helping you, willing to help you. But however, to find those people, to meet those people, you just have to. It takes you.
Yeah.
It takes you. Yeah. So like there will be a lot of challenges. But however, for me as a very active person, I really love to meet people. And so like you will be fine. But however, it takes a lot of you.
Yeah. So in other words, suck it up. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you will be fine. But like it can take a lot. It might.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I really appreciate your time.
Sure.
And we'll sign off with that, and we'll see what this looks like.